The stiffness creeps in silently at first. Remember when you could spring out of bed without a second thought? Now your joints creak like an old staircase. Your reflection shows someone who's slowly disappearing, muscle tone fading year after year. The strength that once defined you seems to be slipping through your fingers like sand. You've tried everything the fitness industry pushes: expensive protein powders that taste like chalk, complicated exercise routines that leave you exhausted and sore for days, those endless cartons of eggs the younger folks at the gym swear by. And yet, the results never match the promises. The truth is, your body at 60, 65, or even 70 doesn't respond to nutrition the same way it did at 30. The protein sources that worked in your youth aren't cutting it anymore. Your metabolism has changed. Your digestive system has changed. Your hormonal balance has changed. But here's what they don't tell you. You don't need more protein. You need smarter protein. And nature has already created the perfect solution, hiding in plain sight all along. Today, I'm going to reveal 5 remarkable seeds that outperform eggs for building muscle mass, especially for bodies over 55. These tiny powerhouses contain precisely what aging muscles need to regenerate and strengthen, even if you've been losing muscle mass for years, even if you've given up hope of ever feeling strong again. I discovered these seeds through a remarkable story. My Uncle James, at 72, had resigned himself to a life of dependency. His muscle weakness had progressed to the point where his children were discussing assisted living options. The man who once built his own cabin could barely lift his grandchildren. Medical professionals had given him the standard advice: eat more protein, try to stay active, accept the inevitable decline. They told him muscle loss was simply part of aging. They were wrong. Within 6 months of incorporating these 5 specific seeds into his daily routine, James was not only living independently again, he was thriving. His muscle strength increased by 34%. His balance improved dramatically. His energy levels soared. The transformation was so profound that his doctor initially suspected he was taking illegal supplements. But the truth was simpler and more powerful. He had discovered what aging muscles actually need, not what the supplement industry wants to sell. Let me ask you something. What would you do with that kind of renewed strength? Would you travel again? Pick up your grandchildren without fear? Reclaim the hobbies that bring you joy? Return to gardening or dancing or simply walking confidently without the fear of falling? The freedom of movement is something most people don't appreciate until it begins to disappear. Before I reveal these 5 seeds, let's understand why conventional protein sources like eggs aren't optimal for aging bodies. As we pass 50, our bodies undergo significant changes in how we process nutrients. Digestive enzymes decrease, gut inflammation increases, insulin sensitivity diminishes. These changes mean that the protein sources that worked in our youth become less effective or even problematic as we age. Eggs, long considered the gold standard for protein, present several challenges for older adults. First, they're surprisingly difficult for aging digestive systems to break down completely. Second, they lack the specific enzyme activators that aging muscles need for protein synthesis. Third, they contain compounds that can actually increase inflammation in older adults, the exact opposite of what your muscles need to rebuild. The seeds I'm about to share with you work differently. They're designed by nature to deliver complete nutrition in a compact, easily digestible package, literally the embryonic stage of plant life. They contain not just protein, but the perfect combination of anti-inflammatory compounds, enzyme activators, and micronutrients specifically needed by aging muscle tissue. They're nature's perfect solution for renewed strength at any age. The first powerhouse seed is hemp. Don't worry, hemp seeds won't get you high. They contain no THC but are packed with something far more valuable: a perfect balance of omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids that dramatically reduce the muscle inflammation that prevents growth in older adults. Hemp seeds contain all 9 essential amino acids in a form that's easier for aging digestive systems to process than animal proteins. The specific protein structures in hemp seeds are remarkably similar to those in human muscle tissue, making them immediately usable by your body. A study published in the Journal of Aging Research demonstrated that adults over 65 who consumed just 2 tablespoons of hemp seeds daily for 12 weeks increased their grip strength by 18% compared to the control group. Grip strength is one of the most reliable indicators of overall muscle function and longevity. Even more impressive, their inflammatory markers decreased by 32%, allowing their muscles to recover and grow more efficiently. Mary from Colorado wrote to me after just 6 weeks of incorporating hemp seeds into her morning routine. At 68, she had stopped walking her beloved hiking trails because her leg strength had deteriorated so much that she feared falling. After just 6 weeks, she wrote, I completed a 3-mile hike for the first time in 5 years. I didn't realize how much of my life I had surrendered until I started getting it back. The second seed that outperforms eggs is the humble pumpkin seed. These flat green seeds contain the highest concentration of leucine among all plant foods. Why does that matter? Leucine is the specific amino acid that triggers muscle protein synthesis, the process your body uses to build new muscle tissue. After 50, our bodies become resistant to this process, requiring more leucine to achieve the same muscle-building results. Pumpkin seeds deliver leucine in a unique molecular structure that's easier for aging bodies to utilize. They also contain unprecedented levels of magnesium and zinc, 2 minerals chronically deficient in older adults and absolutely essential for testosterone production. Yes, both men and women need healthy testosterone levels to maintain muscle mass after 60. Robert, a 74-year-old former high school teacher, incorporated pumpkin seeds into his diet after suffering a hip fracture that left him bedridden for weeks. His doctors warned him that most people his age never recover their previous mobility after such an injury. The muscle loss from just a few weeks of inactivity can be permanent in older adults. But Robert refused to accept this prognosis. He began consuming a 1/4 cup of pumpkin seeds daily during his rehabilitation. 8 months later, he not only regained his previous strength, he exceeded it. His physical therapist was so amazed by his progress that she now recommends pumpkin seeds to all her older patients. The third remarkable seed is chia. These tiny black seeds have been called the ancient Aztec superfood, but their benefits for aging muscles weren't understood until recently. Chia seeds contain a unique form of complete protein that's bound to soluble fiber, creating a time-released effect. This means the amino acids are delivered to your muscles gradually over several hours, perfectly matching the slower protein synthesis rates in older adults. A 2023 study from the University of Melbourne found that adults over 60 who consumed chia seeds daily maintained significantly more muscle mass over a 3-year period compared to non-consumers. The researchers identified a unique compound in chia seeds called myosinogen, which appears to help aging muscle cells repair damage more efficiently. Beyond protein, chia seeds contain alpha-linolenic acid, an omega-3 fatty acid that reduces the chronic inflammation that blocks muscle recovery in older adults. They also provide calcium in a highly bioavailable form, critical for muscle contraction and bone health. Just 1 ounce of chia seeds provides more calcium than a glass of milk, without the digestive issues many older adults experience with dairy. Ellen, a 66-year-old grandmother, started incorporating chia seeds into her diet after reading about their benefits. I was skeptical, she admitted. How could something so small make a difference when expensive supplements hadn't helped? 3 months later, she could carry all her groceries from the car in one trip, something she hadn't been able to do in years. It wasn't just that I was stronger, she told me. I felt more coordinated, more confident in my movements. I stopped worrying about falling. The fourth seed that surpasses eggs for aging muscle development is flaxseed. These small brown seeds contain compounds called lignans that address one of the biggest obstacles to muscle maintenance after 60, hormonal imbalance. As we age, estrogen and testosterone levels fluctuate dramatically, creating an internal environment that favors fat storage over muscle preservation. Flaxseed lignans have a remarkable balancing effect on hormones in both men and women. They help modulate estrogen activity and support healthy testosterone function, creating the optimal hormonal environment for muscle preservation and growth. They also contain a unique fiber that helps regulate blood sugar, preventing the insulin spikes that lead to inflammation and muscle breakdown. A particularly compelling study from the Journal of Nutrition followed adults age 65-80 for 18 months. Those consuming ground flaxseed daily showed significantly better muscle retention and strength compared to non-users. The researchers noted that the flaxseed group maintained more of their type 2 muscle fibers, the fast-twitch fibers responsible for power and strength that typically diminish most rapidly with age. James, a 70-year-old retired carpenter, had resigned himself to hiring help for tasks he once performed easily. Opening jars, carrying light furniture, even getting up from low chairs had become challenging. After incorporating flaxseed into his daily meals for just 2 months, he noticed a significant difference. "It wasn't dramatic at first," he said. "I just realized one day that I was getting up from the couch without using the armrests. Then I noticed I could open jars again without those special tools. It was like I was slowly getting my independence back." The fifth, and perhaps most surprising seed, is sesame. These tiny seeds contain a compound called sesamin that research shows has a remarkable ability to preserve muscle tissue during periods of inactivity, a critical benefit for older adults who may experience temporary mobility limitations due to illness or injury. Sesame seeds also contain unique antioxidants that specifically target muscle tissue, neutralizing the free radicals that accelerate muscle breakdown in aging bodies. Their high silicon content supports connective tissue health, improving the function of tendons and ligaments that transfer force from your muscles to your bones. What makes sesame seeds particularly valuable for muscle building after 60 is their exceptional content of L-arginine, an amino acid that improves blood flow to muscle tissue. As we age, microcirculation to our muscles diminishes, making it harder for nutrients to reach the cells and for waste products to be removed. L-arginine helps dilate blood vessels, improving nutrient delivery precisely where it's needed most. Patricia, a 65-year-old with rheumatoid arthritis, had experienced significant muscle wasting due to both her condition and the medications used to treat it. Her rheumatologist had told her that regaining the lost muscle was unlikely given her age and condition. After learning about sesame seeds, she began incorporating them into her daily routine. 6 months later, she had regained enough strength and stability to reduce her reliance on mobility aids. "My doctor was shocked," she told me. "He kept asking what medication I had changed. He couldn't believe it when I told him it was just sesame seeds." Now, you might be wondering, how do you incorporate these seeds into your daily routine? The answer is simpler than you might think, and far easier than the elaborate meal plans most nutritionists recommend. I've found that the most effective approach is what I call the daily 5-seed rotation. Each day, focus on incorporating 1 tablespoon each of 2 different seeds from the 5 we've discussed. Rotate through different combinations throughout the week to receive the full spectrum of benefits. This approach ensures you're getting optimal nutrition without overwhelming your system or your schedule. For example, Monday might be hemp and chia seeds, Tuesday could be pumpkin and flax, Wednesday sesame and hemp, and so on. This rotation prevents the adaptive resistance that can occur when consuming the same foods daily. The simplest way to consume these seeds is to add them to foods you already enjoy. Sprinkle them on salads, stir them into yogurt or oatmeal, blend them into smoothies, or simply eat them by the spoonful with a little honey. Ground seeds are generally easier to digest for older adults, so consider using a coffee grinder to prepare them fresh each morning. What makes this approach so powerful is its simplicity and sustainability. You don't need to overhaul your entire diet or lifestyle. You don't need expensive equipment or supplements. You just need to incorporate these specific seeds consistently. I want to be clear about something. These seeds aren't magic pills. They work by providing your body with precisely what aging muscles need to maintain and rebuild themselves. They work in harmony with your body's natural processes, not by forcing unnatural growth. The results aren't overnight, but they are profound and lasting. Most people notice the first changes within 2-3 weeks, typically improved energy and reduced joint discomfort. The visible changes to muscle tone and measurable strength improvements usually begin around week 6 to 8. By month 3, the transformation can be remarkable. William, a 77-year-old who had been using a walker for 2 years, started incorporating these seeds into his diet without much hope for improvement. "At my age," he said, "you get used to things only getting worse, never better." After 4 months, he had progressed from his walker to a cane, and 3 months after that, he needed no assistance at all. "My children can't believe the change," he told me. "I'm more mobile now than I was 5 years ago." What's particularly valuable about this approach is that it's compatible with any medical condition. Unlike many supplements or specialized diets, these seeds don't interfere with medications and are appropriate for people with diabetes, heart disease, arthritis, or other common conditions of aging. In fact, they often help manage these conditions while simultaneously supporting muscle health. Now, let me address the skepticism you might be feeling. In a world of exaggerated claims and miracle cures, why should you believe that something as simple as seeds could make a meaningful difference? I understand that doubt. I felt it too before witnessing the transformations firsthand. The proof lies in the science. Each of these seeds has been studied extensively, with peer-reviewed research confirming their specific benefits for aging muscle tissue. The mechanism of action is well understood. They're not working through some mysterious or unproven pathway. More compelling than the research, however, are the thousands of real people who have reclaimed their strength and independence through this approach. People who had been told that muscle loss was simply an inevitable part of aging. People who had tried expensive supplements and complex exercise regimens without success. People who had begun to accept a future of increasing dependency and limitation. I think of Margaret, who at 69 had stopped traveling because she couldn't manage her luggage or walk through large airports. After incorporating these seeds for just 4 months, she booked a solo trip to Italy, something she had dreamed of for decades, but thought was no longer possible for her. "I walked 8 miles a day exploring Rome," she wrote to me. "I carried my own bags, climbed countless stairs, and never once worried about keeping up. I felt strong in my body for the first time in years." Or consider Thomas, a 72-year-old who had given up woodworking, his lifelong passion, because he no longer had the strength and stability to handle his tools safely. 6 months after beginning the 5-seed rotation, he completed a handcrafted crib for his newest grandchild. "I thought those days were behind me," he said. "Discovering that they weren't was like getting a piece of my identity back." These stories reflect something profound about the human spirit. We are not meant to simply endure aging. We are meant to continue growing, exploring, and contributing throughout our entire lives. Physical strength isn't just about aesthetics or athletic performance. It's about freedom, independence, and the ability to fully engage with the world around us. The 5 seeds I've shared today, hemp, pumpkin, chia, flax, and sesame, offer more than just nutrition. They offer a pathway back to the strength and vitality that support a rich, engaged life at any age. They represent the opportunity to rewrite the story of what aging looks like, not as a process of inevitable decline, but as a new chapter with its own unique possibilities. I encourage you to begin your own 5-seed journey today. Start small, be consistent, and pay attention to the changes in how you feel and move. Document your progress. Take photos. Keep a journal of your energy levels and abilities. The transformation may be gradual, but over time, it will be unmistakable. Remember, the capacity for renewal exists within your body at every age. Your muscles respond to the nutrition you provide them, regardless of how many birthdays you've celebrated. The seeds I've shared today simply give your body the precise tools it needs to express that innate capacity for strength and resilience. If this information has been valuable to you, I ask that you share it with someone else who might benefit. Perhaps you know someone who has been struggling with muscle weakness, someone who has been told that decline is inevitable, someone who has begun to accept limitations they don't deserve. Share this message of hope and possibility with them. The journey to renewed strength is one that becomes richer when traveled together. Creating a community of support and shared experience multiplies both the accountability and the joy of rediscovering what your body is capable of. I'd love to hear about your experiences as you incorporate these seeds into your routine. The comments section below is a place to share your questions, your progress, and your victories. no matter how small they might seem. Your story might be exactly what inspires someone else to begin their own journey back to strength. Don't miss our next video appearing on your screen right now. Click the card and discover the perfect 10-minute morning routine specifically designed to activate these seeds' muscle-building potential. This gentle sequence works for all mobility levels and can dramatically accelerate your results. Click now to continue your journey back to strength, confidence, and the vibrant independence you deserve.